Moyes, for joining us. A lot to discuss and very little time. We're on quite a bit of a deadline at the moment. But Dr. Sumit Mitra, your world is very much built on understanding scale. So what would you say is the single biggest disruptor that's shaping the future of retail today?
Thank you, and such a pleasure to be here today. So if I think about from Tesco retail customer perspective, I think how we connect to the customer and how we shepherd them through difficult times that we are facing in our markets, especially in UK, will remain the key for us. And then the obvious is AI. AI will be a big disruptor in retail and will continue to, has always been a disruptor in the last 4 or 5 years, and it'll continue to be a big disruptor. And then the final thing I would say is it's the customer experience that you provide overall. And experience is not just about product or clean stores, or it's the omni-channel 360-degree experience. How you buy it, when you buy it, how available your products are, and how do you deliver to them, and how do you cater to them, and easily, how can you be easily most convenient for your customer becomes the key differentiator, really.
Because I'm in the sort of still very much in the traditional mindset. I love going to the mall. I love the whole experience. I love feeling the clothes and everything else. Online just doesn't really do it for me, but I know it does for a lot of people now. But it's going to be interesting to see how that translates with, as you mentioned, AI coming into the picture. But Sailesh, over the next 3 years, how do you think? Let's stick with AI for a moment. How do you think that's going to very much change that everyday shopping experience? Not necessarily, in theory, but also in ways in which, people feel and experience at the end of the day.
There was quite an interesting question that you asked on the poll earlier, which was, would you trust an AI with the equal equity partner in your startup? And the answer was also equal, 50-50. So I'll just build upon that. Why would you not trust AI, or why would you trust AI? Is it because you don't understand AI or you don't trust AI? First of all, AI is for everyone. It's not just for the retailers, it's for the consumer as well. Everybody's exposed to the AI and the possibilities of AI as much as both the providers, as the retailer, as well as the consumers as well. What that means is consumers are expecting far more. Your customers are not really just looking for you to have the product available in the shelf. They're not available them to be only priced rightly, and they're not really expecting you to be having ease of experience and the quality every single time. That is just a basic hygiene. What they're expecting now for you to understand them. They're expecting you to give them an experience. You spoke about physical store. Physical store is not just a store where you go to buy, you go there to experience. And that has to be enhanced significantly with both AI and the human working hand in hand, as opposed to working against each other. Because the moment you say physical versus the online, clearly you're creating a divide, which means online is more artificial intelligence and physical is purely physical without any AI.
So Dr. Sumit, going back to you, how much of AI are you seeing coming into the market right now then? Because as mentioned previously when I spoke to Dubai Future Foundation, we're still in its infancy. We're still not really there. A lot of these pilots are failing as well. There was an MIT report that said, I think 95% of companies failed when implementing, these pilot phases with AI. But it means that people are trying. That's the only positive sort of link. What is your thought in terms of how we're advancing in the retail space?
Look, we need to make technology simple for everybody to understand. So the way we think about AI is in 3 buckets from a use case perspective. The first one is around things that humans can do but shouldn't do. So we call it sort of more using machine learning and things that is task-based, rule-based, repetitive, that can be done. The second bucket, we say there are things that human brains can't comprehend, too much data. How do you bring that together to drive insights, this then drive actions? So data is only good if you can drive actions from it. So how do you convert that data into actions, which human brains can't comprehend? And the third bucket is, how do you use AI to make humans more powerful? I call it almost Iron Man suit. You put the Iron Man suit on, and suddenly you have superpowers. So how do you use the third? And then what we're doing is classifying the business and finding use cases that fits into those buckets. AI is also about, the way I look at it is we shouldn't think about this as a tool and how do we automate a process. AI is about reimagination. It's about having a white sheet of paper and thinking, how do you start and how do you finish? And what's the outcome you want to drive? And think about what AI can do to structure your unstructured data, and how do you drive a seamless zero-touch mechanism where humans are in the loop to drive exceptions. So there are a number of use cases we're working on, whether it's product quality, whether it's cost intelligence, pricing and promotions, whether it's really understanding and driving personalization for our 25 million customers, whether it's operational efficiency, whether it's online and picking, really accelerating picking for our stores, and also things like product returns, where on a business where we have 95 million shopping trips, we have annually, in a week, and that's huge volume, and we get about 290,000 product returns. So how do you handle that quickly? And would you believe there's one person who's dealing with 295,000 product returns? We call him the Iron Man women, and he works with AI to drive that forward.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, it just sparks efficiency. It reduces your costs at the end of the day as well. I mean, it's another level, isn't it, of efficiency? Salish, what about you? What are you seeing in terms of AI and how that's integrating into that retail experience as well right now?
I'll just build upon what Dr. Sumit said. First of all, productivity, efficiency, automation, all of those, that's the basic stuff. The level of intelligence at which the AI is today, the kind of LLMs which are commercially available to us, that's the basic stuff everybody should go after based on your use cases, what works for you. You're able to fine-tune the LLM or the AI agent. You can train it for your purposes. That's okay for light to medium complexity decision making. Where I see this failing, not failing in terms of the AI projects that you pick up, failing is people are not really strategically thinking about the powers of the AI. Only the AI companies are, but not everybody is. Your model, if I talk about retail is primarily designed for human-to-human interaction. It's not designed for agent-to-agent interaction. My agent calls your agent and completes a business deal. For example, let's just say you're ordering a pizza, you go onto your app, you select, it just shows you what was the last pizza you ordered, you apply, you make the payment. 3 to 4 minutes, you call that a grand success. That transaction, you type on your ChatGPT, your ChatGPT talks to my AI, it should complete end-to-end in 3 seconds, applying the right coupon from your email, your WhatsApp, wherever that is, and get you the best deal and the best pizza possible. You're not designing for that yet. And that's the big question, where biggest opportunity that a lot of people are missing out on.
Yeah. So what would you say? I mean, we've spoken about, this hybrid, it's all about experience, and we're going to sort of mesh these two worlds together. But how would you describe the future of retail? What in your mind is that really going to look like? Tell us, run through some of the sort of key elements, maybe for sort of the next 10 years or so.
I mean, look, here is some data. What we found is customers who are using our physical stores as well as online, we find they are 60% spending more, 60% more money than somebody who's spending just in stores or online. And then we have quick commerce called Whoosh. So what we found is people who are using Whoosh, they are spending 30% more than sort of just one channel. And then if they're using all three, they are 92% more than anybody else. So that's the future for us, is how connected we are as an ecosystem across quick commerce, across online channel, across physical stores. And then do you have an app right at the center and the heart which connects the three experience together? So, we are finding, whatever your shopping habits are, however you want to eat, however you want to, lead your life, there has to be easily convenient for you to maneuver through the system? And how do you make that easier for the customer to navigate this? Because customer is not interested, whether it's AI, machine learning, or whatever it might be, or they are interested in their own experience when they touch, feel Tesco as a group, and what is their experience, and that matters.
And it's all about ease of use at the end of the day. And actually, the customer is the most important thing in all of this at the end of the day, right? What in your mind is the future of retail, if you could sort of project in 10 years' time?
Look, I think Dr. Sumit has nailed it. Customer is not looking for you to know about as to which category I shop in and predict that and have the inventory available at the right price. They are expecting us to predicting the moments in which they shop. If a customer is shopping for a school bag, for a study desk, and a loungewear, these are not the three categories. They were actually there to shop for back-to-school collection, school bag, and they said, I will actually shop for a study desk as well, and while I'm at it, maybe just buy myself a loungewear. If you're not really looking at the life stage and the life moments the customer are in, and you're just looking at as three separate categories and treating them separately with different promotions, etc., you're going to fail. You're going to fail yourself as well as the customer's expectation of you as well. And that's pretty much where the AI and the human interaction becomes really powerful. You give them the experience that they're looking for. Customer walking into the store and say, why the item that I'm expecting is not here? These are the basic questions, which everybody will solve pretty much in the next year to year and a half if they've not solved it already. But this is where the real value starts to unlock.
Well, it seems that there have been a lot of technological advancements in this space anyway for years, even maybe AI, we could say, for quite a long time. But if the technology is there, why are so many consumers still seeing out of stock items, irrelevant offers? I mean, it's not really quite there yet. Why is that right now?
Look, I'll put this in the context of the AI. AI is right now the way it's being used. It's being designed to look backwards, analyze the backwards, as opposed to looking forward. Even though the forecasting algorithms and all of them are in place, but you want to be at a place where you're solving these problems in the real time. You don't want your store staff to be doing those tasks. Everybody's is scared about as to what. Will AI replace my job? In fact, AI should replace the jobs which frustrate you. A store agent scanning through all the shelves and figuring out what is out of stock, printing labels, looking for the sizes that you're looking for. These are the frustrating jobs which should be outsourced to the AI. What they should be focusing on is the human touch. If a customer is asking for what formula did you use for your baby, no algorithm can replace that. Okay, and that is where when I spoke about earlier as well in terms of the experience. But again, coming back to your question in terms of the shelf space, in terms of the inventory availability, focusing more on the real-time variables, how the temperature is impacting you, how the shift in the demographics is impacting you, and how the competition is impacting you. A lot of these have to be taken into account so that you ensure the inventory availability in the store, which a lot of us might not be doing at the moment.
And also, let's not forget that, if I look at Tesco, 70% of our business is still physical stores. And let's not forget the community element of it. There are a lot of isolation. There is a lot of people who would like to go in, and even they're buying a bottle of milk, they want to sit down and have a coffee and talk to their friends, and make friends. It's like a community hub. Which Tesco helps create. It's also a community presence which supports the local charities and support the surrounding neighborhood, and how do we make that community a little better every day. So that's something is a big deal, and people also buy from people. I think we forget that sometimes in the day of machine, is that, does a store manager know the names of everybody who's coming into the store, at least the regular shoppers, their family, their children, which school they go to, and how can they support their local school? It matters and becomes really important. So sometimes we really forget the human element of, to me, online is very impersonal. It's a machine which is prompting you and telling you what to do, whereas, the touch and feel and seeing the product with your own hand. And there's a lot of people who care about that.
I'm still in that group. Yeah, I love going to the mall. Right, we had a poll question up. Maybe we could just get the answers from that, because I'd love to get your take on this actually, and some of the. Oh, look at this. Would you let AI choose your wardrobe? No human input. A huge 78% said no. That's really interesting, isn't it? Well, quick takeaways on that. What are your thoughts?
I think it's true, but would I need AI to kind of help and assist me? That's great. Again, it's the Iron Man suit. Can it help me to choose, give me option? In the end, I am in control of my own destiny, so therefore I will choose what I want to do, when I want to do, and how I want to do it.
Interesting.
This one is easier for me because this answer has already been answered by my wife. She will not let any AI choose my wardrobe. She will choose my wardrobe. So, but again, I mean, look, why not? Yes, absolutely. Because all the variables that I'm looking at in terms of what's in trend, what actually looks good on me for my body shape, my size, my height, etc., whatever shape or size I will be at that time, and what occasion I'm wearing for, it can do, if you provide the right data and variables, as well as the input, it can do as good a job as anybody else. So why not?
There you go. Sadly, we have run out of time, but a brilliant discussion there. We cannot thank you enough for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our panel. Thank you.
Thank you.